Alright, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone that rule well. Shalom to you, Akim, that are teaching this word around the globe with faith and truth and in sincerity. This is the brother Caleb coming back again from the. This is brother Caleb from the GMS London Forecasters Camp coming back at you again with another lesson to, Lord willing, edify the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. As always, I'd like to start by saying that we are the real Hebrew Israelites. The real Israelites, these are called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, and West Africans predominantly. However, you are going to get Israelites that do look like the other nations because Israel, as a people, has been scattered amongst all people throughout our various captivities. But if your seed line by your forefathers goes back to the man in the Bible that was named Israel, then you too are an Israelite no matter what you may look like, because the book of Numbers, chapter 1 and verse 18 states that your nationality is determined by the lineage of your forefathers. So I'm going to do a little lesson here, and Lord willing, Lord willing, I won't get a copyright strike for this, because usually, you're getting strikes left, right and center. But what the hell, I'm going to try and do this video because I think it would be edifying. Now, I'm going to play a clip from a cartoon that I used to watch when I was growing up called, if you're in America, you've probably heard of it, it's G.I. Joe. I used to like this a lot when I was growing up, me and my brother. But I was watching again one episode, and it's funny because, we know that Esau uses something called predictive programming, where he will put the truth in plain sight and hide it as fiction. Now, I'm going to play this clip here from one episode, and basically it's about the destruction of the economy, and it exposes the lie about the fiat currency we have. All this paper money. That paper money isn't real money. Real wealth is in gold, silver, cattle, so on and so forth. Resources. What Abraham had, which made him rich. Those are the things which are of real value. But Esau's got it twisted, where he's got people running around after FRNs, which is Federal Reserve notes, thinking that is a legitimate currency. And now we're approaching the time where we're coming close to the MOB, which, for those of you who don't know, MOB is the mark of the beast spoken of in Revelation chapter 13 from 16 on down. Basically what Esau wants to do is he wants to destroy the current system of currency and implement his implantable RFID, radio frequency identification microchip, into people and have them conduct their transactions through that. So Esau can have a database with just numbers, fictional numbers on a database, and that will be your new currency. And Esau will have total control over you if you succumb to that mark of the beast. Now, in this particular episode, it basically outlines Esau's whole agenda, except instead of saying mark of the beast, they call it Cobra currency. So I'm going to play this clip, and then I'm going to break it down and get some scriptures.
So, Destro, is the thermomolecular ignition transmitter ready?
Yes, Commander. I am about to make the first test.
Success at last, Destro. By tomorrow, the United States shall be ours.
All right, you gold bricks, pony up. Who's got the courage to stay and see these beauties?
Not me. Unless you want to stake me.
You guys gonna fold or be sorry?
Luck's like climbing mountains. You hit the peak, and there's nowhere to go but down.
Oh, I'm at the peak, all right, but I'm pitching camp. Ripcord, in or out?
I think you're flying without a chute.
Read 'em and weep, fellas. I gotta...
Did all your cash just do the big flash?
When I find out who did this...
I think I've got your man. Attention, citizens. Due to the financial irresponsibility and incompetence of your leaders, Cobra has found it necessary to restructure your nation's economy. We have begun by eliminating the worthless green paper, which your government has deceived you into believing is valuable. Cobra.
You see that? What the character Cobra Commander said there is that he's eliminated the useless green paper which your governments have convinced you to think or tricked you to think is valuable. And that's very true, because as we know, the Federal Reserve notes, they ain't worth anything, man. They ain't like trading with real gold, silver and stuff like that. But people in the world have been deceived into thinking that this is real money, when we're not really using real money. Let's carry on. Because this cartoon, okay, it showed the destruction of the economy, but what you're going to see is it leads to civil unrest, and then people wanting to do anything to try and get the new currency. And then you see riots breaking out and this, that and the other. Let me just play it.
Will come to your rescue, and out of the ashes will arise a new order.
And out of the ashes will arise a new order. Let me repeat that.
Come to your rescue, and out of the ashes will arise a new order.
Cobra has us exactly where they want us, helpless. In less than a week, buying and selling have been replaced by rioting and looting.
And you can't reestablish order until you print new currency.
And you can't print new currency because Cobra will just destroy it.
Yeah, in short, Cobra's got us basting over a fire.
And time is on their side. With every passing day, the economy sinks deeper into chaos.
So Cobra Commander just has to sit back and wait for the country to fall into his hands.
Then we have one thing going for us. He doesn't know how to wait.
Hey, boss, that hissing fool's on the TV again.
Citizens of the United States, I am pleased to announce Cobra's Economic Recovery Plan. If you want money to buy food for your children, take all your valuables to the nearest branch of Extensive Enterprises. There, all goods will be exchanged for Cobra currency.
That's it. We've got our lead. Let's...
See, he said there all goods will be exchanged for Cobra currency. All you got to do is sort that out with Mark of the Beast, because that's the times they're coming into. You know, Esau's going to get everybody to try and comply and take this mark. Let's keep playing.
Pay a visit to Extensive Enterprises.
Flint, look!
Hey, get in line! Are you deaf? I said get in line!
Unless you want more of that, do like I said.
Leave her alone! We didn't come here to fight.
You gotta fight now, fly boy!
No, don't fight back. You want to prevent a riot, not start one? Folks, please listen to me. It will only make things worse.
See, and that goes back to the
Alright, Shalom.
it's a different one. See, that goes back to the saying, when people have nothing to lose, they lose it. You know, when people got nothing to lose, they lose it. So yeah, that's the clip. Let me get some scriptures now, Lord willing. Right. So let's get the riches of Abraham to begin with. Yeah, Genesis 13 and verse 2. So it's Genesis 13 from verse 1. And Abram This is before he became Abraham. And Abraham went out of Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him unto the south. And Abraham was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. See, those are real, tangible assets. We don't really have tangible assets in the society. We've just got these cheap, worthless Federal Reserve notes, which only have value because the people believe it has value, because they've been told it has value, but really it's not backed by anything. It's not backed by gold, it's not backed by silver. Back in the day, when you got one of those notes, that was like an IOU, like an IOU, so you could take that to the bank and ask to withdraw the amount that it was valued at in silver, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. You can't really do that anymore because it's not backed by anything. It's not backed by gold, and it's not backed by silver. It's just backed by people's belief in it, which is, it's nothing. And the scriptures say a false balance is an abomination with the Most High. So this whole financial system is corrupt. I mean, they charge things like usury, which is against the law in the scriptures. It's just madness going on right now. But as illustrated in that episode there, they're going to get people over a barrel where people are going to be like ready and willing to take the mark. So let's get the mark scriptures, Revelation. So this is Revelation 13 from verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now that mark is going to be the implantable RFID microchip, which is going to have all your information, all your data, everything about you on it. So Esau can track you and he can control you. And it says, and that no man, let me move this out of the way, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Now that cartoon that I was showing you there, that was made in the 1980s. I think between 1982 to 1986 they used to show that cartoon, first air that cartoon. And now we're in 2021, and this agenda has been Esau's plan for the longest time, right back to say 1st of May 1776, the foundation of the Illuminati. Esau's had this plan and he's been working towards creating his new world order. And even in that cartoon it says, and out of the ashes will arise a new order. So that's Esau's whole plan, to try and deceive the people. Let me read it again. Revelation 13 from verse 14. And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image unto the beast, which had the wound by the sword and did live. And that's speaking of the Roman Empire, because what we are living in is the revival of the Roman Empire, which is the last empire that's going to be on earth before the kingdom of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, which is the kingdom of the nation of Israel, which, Lord willing, if we are of the elect, we will have a governing part in. We're going to be the ones who are governing the nation, Lord willing, if we be of the elect. And it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the beast should be killed. So Esau's going to be coming down with great wrath pertaining to Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Let me just get that. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe, meaning destruction, to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, meaning the deceiver, which is Esau, these Edomites. For those of you who don't know, the Edomites use so-called white people predominantly. Now you are going to get Israelites who do look like so-called white people that have the curse of leprosy, but if their seed line goes back to the man in the Bible named Israel, they're Israelite. However, if their seed line by their forefathers goes back to the man in the Bible that's named Esau, who was Jacob's brother, then they are an Edomite, and they're going to go into 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, and then they're going to be burnt up, pertaining to Obadiah chapter 1 and 18. But let's continue on. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So Esau's in the end of his empire, and he's doing his best to try and preserve his rulership on the earth, and he's going to try and do that by implementing the mark of the beast. So it says 15, and he had power to give... No, I've read that. Verse 16, he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So if I jump down to Revelation 14 verse 9, saying, and it goes on to say, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his hand or in his forehead, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up for ever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. So that's the judgment for taking the mark. If you take the mark, you're going to get caught up in the destruction that's going to be coming upon this earth from Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, pertaining to Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 15. Is Isaiah 66 and 15? Let me get it. Yeah, it's Isaiah 66:15. Read it. It says, for behold, Yahweh will come with fire and with his chariots, like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. So when Yahweh comes back in the chariots, that's what he's coming to do, to slay, to put this man's rulership to an end, and to set up the kingdom of righteousness, which is the kingdom of heaven, which is for us Israelites. You know, the kingdom of heaven is only for the Israelites. Yahweh said himself, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, because the promises pertaineth unto Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's seed, not to all the nations. So the nations are going to have to pay for what they've done, and anyone of our nation who takes the mark of the beast is going to have to drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured into his cup without mixture. So they're going to get the same judgment as all the wicked. If you're an Israelite and you get the mark, you're going to get burnt up too. So that's why it's so important that we teach these prophecies to warn our people. Isaiah 58 and verse 1, cry aloud and spare not. You know, lift up thy voice like a trumpet and shew my people their transgressions. So that's the whole purpose of what us men of the Lord are doing, to lift up our voices, to warn our people not to take this thing, because it's coming. You know, Esau's already clipping channels for just even mentioning the mark of the beast now. But fuck it, the word's got to go out. So I'm doing a video on it, Lord willing, it's edifying. So just a quick hit. Hopefully that clip from that cartoon was edifying. But this is the thing, Esau tries to put these his agenda into his media, because it has a kind of effect of a reverse effect of prophecy. Because when people see things start to happen in the world and like, oh shit, that was in that film all those years ago, people who aren't spiritual are going to attribute it to Esau being a master of this world, when he's not. Anything is nothing but. Really, it's the spirit of the Most High that's governing everything that's taking place on the earth. And that's why we need to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, so that we're not deceived by Esau's media and his predictive programming and all those tricks. You know, because if you're carnal and you're not spiritual and you're in the world, you see these things, you're going to get a bit like shook by it. I mean, I remember my own father used to say to me, like, you know, what's going on in the world is just like some of them cartoons that you used to watch as a little boy, speaking particularly of, you know, G.I. Joe, because it was about terrorist organizations doing X, Y, and Z. You know, but that stuff was put in cartoons. But really, when you look at what's going on in the world, it almost follows the script of a lot of those shows, you know, because the people who wrote those shows were insiders for the most part, you know. And they put these things in there on purpose because they've got an agenda. So yeah, with that, giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, B'Shem Kakadash. Hopefully it's been a little edifying lesson. And until the next one, I'll say Barakathiya Hawa, Barakathiya Hawa Shai. You know, what above the bone, what Kramya Shawala. Shalom for now. Till the next one. Shalom.